Hello everybody, how are you guys doing? It's the Ace Blader here. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. New news dropped. You guys are getting I think 4 uploads in a row. So thanks to Karatomi for actually dropping some stuff for me to talk about today. We got some brand new Beyblade 25th anniversary news. The video has dropped. I want to go over this with you guys. Have you guys take a look along with this with me, because I feel like it's going to be important to break this down for you guys so you guys can form your own opinions about this. We'll get into my own feelings about this later, so you already know. Nice poster in the back about season 2. This has already been talked to death when it comes to most Beyblade YouTubers, unfortunately, but that is the poster that's going to be going in this season 2 of Beyblade X. It's actually really funny because my most recent Beyblade X video, my first rant on the channel, actually did surprisingly well and even got a comment from Illinook, which is actually kind of wild. Thank you so much for all of the support you guys have been giving me despite taking a break recently. I think I can say that I'm actually very excited for season 2 after reading all of the comments. I've read a lot of differing perspectives on that, and honestly, I think season 2 might be pretty good. I don't know. I'm hoping it'll be better than season 1 at the very least. I think we should just get into the Beyblade news. However, you know, that's enough stalling. Let's get into the nitty gritty. This is why you clicked on the video. So we're gonna have the 25th year anniversary Beyblade box here, and as you can see, like most other Takeri Tomy boxes, we're gonna have all the Beyblades on display, and then, you know, all of the launchers and all that hidden off. So if you wanted to collect this, then you could hypothetically, which I actually really enjoy seeing that from TT. I love when they do stuff like this, just in case you want to buy this sort of thing and it's not in some ugly brown box and it's hard to display, you need a case and all that. If you wanted to buy this just to collect, you can just keep it, buy it, and literally never open up. You can just open this flap up and look at it and it'll be pretty. So here's what you're going to be getting in the set itself. This is what we're going to be getting. We're getting a launcher for Dragoon, 2 strings, and another launcher for Drawn Sword, which if you guys had seen the last video or one of my prior videos where I talked about the announcement video for this and reacted to this along with you guys, and you already know I have some reservations for this Dragoon, some extreme reservations. I'm extremely nervous, but it's kind of a mixed bag. I'm actually just gonna go straight into this, get the close-up of the Beyblades up on the screen here for you guys. So they have a side-by-side between the original Beyblade and then the Beyblade X remake, which I really appreciate. I really enjoyed Dragoon S. I kind of wish that they had remade, honestly, any other Dragoon, to be honest. I get it's the 25th and they want to keep it like as nostalgia bait as possible, but we've already gotten Dragoon S in the previous generation, so seeing it again is just like, how many Dragoons are we gonna get? As you can see here, I'm gonna zoom in where my cursor is right here. This is actually separated. I didn't know that this was gonna be separated based on how this looked in the reaction video for the original 25th anniversary. This is actually going to be made of metal, if you didn't know. So I wasn't made aware of this when I watched the original one. I thought it was all gonna be plastic and it would break and it would just look terrible, but this is going to be made of metal. So there's at least a little bit of insurance that it won't break nearly as fast. Again, if you zoom in here with that, especially with that shine and the reflection where my cursor is, you can see right there that it's still having that sort of downward slope when you come into contact with the Beyblade. So it's supposed to upper attack like the original Dragoon, as you can see here. I don't think that's really gonna be that, you know, useful. My main complaint when it comes to this Dragoon really is just gonna be how much of a square it is. It's practically a square at this point. I understand that the weight discs were like really big. A lot of contact happened with the weight disc. It's just not good in Beyblade X. I mean, I actually own the Dronzer original release when that first came out. It was one of the first Beyblade X Bays that I ever got. And the weight disc part of that Beyblade, I feel really holds it back. This is gonna hold this even back more. And I know that most remakes aren't made to be competitive, but I would like for the option to be made available in the first place, you know? If somebody wanted to enter a tournament with Dragoon S, then I want this part and all this here to not be nearly as prominent, so we can still have contact between these upper attack slopes like they're designed to be. Also, editing Ace Blader here, I don't want to come off as negative when I'm saying this stuff. I'm just extremely passionate about this hobby, and if Takeri told me where to watch my videos, I'd want them to hear my complaints and concerns. Back to the video. That's about as deep as I can go when it comes to the layer, but what I can get into here. So everybody knows this is going to be rubber cell. I'm very excited to see how this is going to do competitively. We've all been waiting for rubber drivers. I don't know if this means we're going to be getting rubber sharps or anything like that anytime soon, but we're at least getting rubber drivers in Beyblade X. only at the end of the season, which season 2 should be out by the time that these drop. So we might even get normal releases for rubber drivers. But as you can see, they're trying to emulate how the original Blade base looked for the Dragoon S, and as you can see, it's way shorter than this Beyblade X one. Rigid set underneath here, as you can see, to emulate this part of the Blade base. And then the ratchet cover is supposed to cover everything else underneath here. Unfortunately, no stickers on the ratchet itself, but what can you do? Takara Tomy is an indie company, very small budget. And then the rubber driver itself with this beautiful blue. I think this is going to be a good release, mainly just for the bit. I don't know if this is going to be hard or soft rubber. We'll only know once we get our hands on it. And as you can see here, this is something that I actually wanted to talk about here, if you didn't notice. This is extremely circular. I don't know what this is going to mean for competitive. You'll just have to see for yourself through testing, or if anybody else has a normal Accel bit. But again, this is going to be rubber Accel, so who knows how that's going to be. Who knows, maybe it'll do something like a whale wave where it'll get stuck or elevate itself. I'm not too sure. I really doubt it. But you know, testing videos are going to be released. I keep an eye out on your YouTube feed for when these release. We're getting the long-standing Dragon Ripcord again. As you can see, Dragoon came with this original Dragon Ripcord. If you were growing up with Hasbro like me, then you saw these get released with El Drago, or Lightning El Drago, and Meteor, and El Drago Destructor, and all that stuff. And it is longer, which is the good news. It's still longer than your original Ripcord. It's longer by a bit. I guess if you really care about that, if those, like, how many is that? Like 3 extra like divots in the ripcord really make a difference to you, then I guess this is a must pick up for you. Okay, so as you can see here, these are going to come with stickers. I'm actually spoiling this at the end, but that's fine. We'll get into that later. These are going to come with stickers for making sure that these painted on parts here, which was a big complaint when it came to the original Dronzer and Drigger. These original parts here, all that paint will just chip off with Beyblade X, no matter what. These Beyblades are very off-center. They remind me of the Tornado Beyblades, since they're so tall in this generation. One good hit, all that paint is just gonna come scraping off. So at least they're giving us excess stickers, as you can see over here, for Dragoon and Pegasus and all the Beyblades here, so you can at least try to protect the paint. Again, there are tutorials online you can use in case you need to protect your stickers from falling off. I recommend checking those out in your free time if you're going to pick up this set. Now we're going to get into the nitty gritty, which this is what I'm actually very excited for. We have Storm Pegasus. This was my first Beyblade ever. This I'm very excited for. Like, I have a Storm Pegasus myself already, but I might consider picking this up only so I can own this Bey, or buying this Beyblade loose itself. It feels great to be able to see the Storm wheel again, especially since the burst version I wasn't really a big fan of since it was plastic. Now we have a side view over here, as you can see. And if you've noticed immediately too, just look at this real quick. The Beyblade combo here is going to be 360 and then rubber Accel. I'm a little bit confused off of that myself because, well, this one is a mid-fake. You can see there, this is the 100 spin track. This is supposed to be 2. So we're getting 3. Again, 360 ratchet, all of that stuff. This is as basic as Beyblade X can get. Take that with a grain of salt. If you wanted a 2, unfortunately, we're not getting that there. Not going to be completely accurate as it should be, but what can you do? Here's the comparison shot. As you can see, these Beyblades, honestly, it looks a lot like Cyber from this close-up here. But this is pretty damn spot on. I'm very, very excited for this. This looks as spot on as you can get with Beyblade X. This is the closest that I've seen, and hopefully if it's like Burst, this might be a top tier part. Don't quote me, but in Burst this was a top tier part. It could be a top tier part, especially just the combo. Either this is wrong. Okay, so I actually just noticed here, sorry, that seems like a very sudden cut, but here it says 370 before it said 360. So let me just go ahead and do a quick Google search. All right, shout out myself really quick. It is 370, so that was a typo in the Takara Tomy video. Here's the underside view of the Beyblade, as you can see. I'm not a big fan of 70 as a height. I think even in the original video, I was even like 70 makes no sense. This would have been the perfect chance for them to introduce a 50mm ratchet instead of a 70, but what can you do? Takara is gonna make whatever decisions they want. Maybe they felt they needed to nerf the stock combo. People are gonna put whatever they want on here anyway. So what can you do? This is going to be an interesting one for sure. Go ahead and move on towards Valkyrie. So you can see they have a side-by-side between Victory Valkyrie and Victory Valkyrie Beyblade X. I think that this might be the one that looks both the closest and somehow the worst out of all four of these so far. Parts are gonna have 260 and rubber accel. So we're getting rubber accel a lot in the set. If you want multiple, this might be you might want to cop this just so you can have 3 for testing. They're going to be breaking apart the layer and the plastic again right here to reinforce this, so you don't have to worry about the plastic breaking off. And this is probably going to do more help compared to the original Dragoon, as you could see earlier in the video. And unfortunately, there's no special variant of rubber accel being made or anything like that. I'm not surprised. It would have been cool if we did get variable or anything similar to it in this release, but instead we're just going to be getting a basic rubber flat. And this is the release that's actually going to be getting to emulate the original Beyblade Burst driver with these 2 bits right here. This is as close as you can get, but this here, that is quite the gap. That is quite the gap. I think Victory Valkyrie is going to be the Beyblade out of this set to burst the most, unfortunately. Especially with this being so open and exposed compared to everything else. This might have been the Beyblade that deserved the 360 driver, and I wouldn't have honestly been that mad compared to that, just for burst resistance alone. If you really care that much like me, consider swapping the 260 and 370 out. Got tiny little details from burst and all that. And if you were worried, for some reason, but if you were worried, they do have the star system, as you can see here. So a lot of callbacks if you care about burst. I liked burst. I grew up with both Metal Fight and burst, but I am worried about how high the layer is compared. I feel like this is going to be getting the Yell Kong sort of treatment, where it looks like a powerhouse from up top, but from a side view, not so much. Not so much. I think moving on from that, we can safely move on to the Drawn Sword. We're going to be getting this 25th anniversary launcher. Not too much of a difference here. The launcher's not that exciting, but what is exciting is these stickers. We're going to be getting these exclusive stickers in this release here. These stickers look absolutely sick. They got this nice looking metallic finish to all of them. And honestly, I feel like this is what Drawn Sword was probably supposed to look like originally, with all of the highlights. Like, if burst stickers were a thing in this generation and we were always gonna get stickers with every release, this is absolutely what Drawn Sword would have looked like in the original release. This looks beautiful. I cannot complain. This might be the best This might be the best looking sticker set that we've gotten on a Beyblade in a very long time. I'm very excited for this. Do what you guys want. I'm hoping that somebody will make like reproduction stickers when it comes to this, so I can pick these up, or somebody will sell these secondhand loose. But aside from that, this is gonna be the 25th anniversary set. Let me know down below how you guys feel about this yourselves. Again, this is gonna be releasing, I'd say, about next year, 2025. So it's still like soon, but not anytime like too soon. I am personally both excited and a little bit scared for this release, because 2 of these Beyblades are just not going to be competitively viable. If you don't care about competitive like I do, then feel free to get this. If you're a collector, this is a must get. I'm not sure if this will be limited edition or anything or not. It shouldn't be, but you know Takara Tomy likes to overcharge for some of their products, especially if they can put anything rare behind it and be like, yeah, this is worth a $200 markup. I'm gonna see if I can buy any of these loose. I'm gonna see if I can buy any of these secondhand or anything like that. And I recommend that if you only want one of these Beyblades, to also do the same. But I think aside from that, that's about all that I have for you guys here today. I'm gonna be looking around for more news as I usually do. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to let me know your thoughts on this release down in the comment section below. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot. I love reading your guys' comments. I love seeing everybody's thoughts on things that I bring to light, and I would love to hear what you guys have to say. And I think I'm gonna just end the video here. NEWSPOT signing out.